I've been here in Mexico City this week for a residency at Apapacho, exploring various themes. I've been here in Mexico City this week for a residency at Apapacho, exploring various themes. One of the ideas I've been looking at is that of change. How things are constantly changing, and that which once seemed familiar transitions into something else that needs to be rediscovered, revisited. But there are certain themes that cycle back over and over that we get to explore. I think those are ways that we learn about ourselves, about our world, about our connection to life. That's what I've been doing here in Mexico City, exploring the places where I once lived and how they've changed and what feels the same. And Xola, blue-eyed cat, she walks the street. The bumps in the sidewalk, comida corrida at your feet.
En Xola, un sonrisa, un chiste y algún chicharrones. El mesero, el pescadero y el pulquetero, tres hombres sin miedo. In Xola, the borrachos lay passed out on the streets in the most beautiful postures, like Caravaggio's friends in Contrapasto. In Xola.
As I came up from the subterranean pasillo and walked the sidewalks outside of Metro Xola, I thought back to my early days of living in the city, in my first home there in Colonia Moderna, 4 stops south of the Centro Histórico. There was the metro entrance where the man in the taquilla would try to cheat me by shortchanging my pesos when I would buy tickets there. He would say, "Oh, es mi extra, it's my bonus," as I glared at him through the glass and demanded he give me my change. Allí fue los puestos y tiendas. There are the stands and shops where I would buy my fresh squeezed juices and delicious pan dulce. Y acá, el mercado La Moderna con su comida, the market where I would eat and buy fruits and vegetables. The waitresses were so kind when I knew very little Espanol, telling me, "En un ratito," in a little bit, but I couldn't decide on the menu. And Carlos, Charlie, the pescadero, when I asked him, "¿Cuánto es?" he would reply, 100 pesos, 100 kisses. That was my first experience with doble sentido, the wordplay that is so common in Mexico. I crossed Eje 4, going deeper into the barrio I had called home. Eight years ago, I came to Moderna, near to Metro Xola. It was a time of great creativity and also deprivation, time of love, time of chaos, time of growth. I'm so glad for my stay here. It was where I learned many of my first lessons of living in Mexico. Tengo gratitud siempre por estas primeras lecciones de mi vida en México. Yo fui a mi depa. I came to my home on the corner of George Washington and Jose Rodo, where I had lived with my girlfriend. We called it the trap house, Casa Trampa.
Almost 3 months ago, I gave up my home in Texas and came to Mexico City to live and work for the summer. I expected to learn some new things and then return to my old life with that knowledge. What I did not realize is that when you open to the possibilities of life, it takes you forward to new experiences, new awareness, new understandings. It puts you in places you don't know, in situations you don't understand, with a language you can't speak. That is when you are most vulnerable, stepping forward into an unknown future with no security. But that is also when you see the beauty around you most clearly, in that moment of openness. From vulnerability, we learn our greatest strengths.
She took the name Lauren, and I became Brandon Tepache as we explored Persona and survived the earthquake of 2017. El temblor llegado rápido y fuerte. It hit suddenly, around 30 seconds after the earthquake alarms sounded throughout the barrio. She got out, but I was trapped in the apartment, looking for the door keys. The building swaying like a boat in heavy waves as I grabbed for the wall to keep from falling down. I got out to the street, where we felt the asphalt rolling like waves on the ocean. Leaving from Moderna, I thought of how the times we experience feel so vivid when we are in them. And just like that, they are gone, just like those waves on the ocean. Eu fui por el metrobús. I caught the bus, and riding away, felt the bitter sweetness of love and life, and could only find gratitude there in those forgotten memories.